let's go ahead, make sure everything is here. I'm late today, but oh my goodness, I just forgot it was a stream day. I was just having fun watching movies with Roots. We're good there. My lo-fi beats are up. Let's go ahead and check who is going to be here, whose story we can read. Let's see, we have chatting. And story submissions. Hello, Lambda. It's good to see you. Welcome, welcome. I'm checking into the story submissions right now to see who we have. Someone with K has Tales of the Teal Mountain Sect. Hello, Uni. It's good to see you. And hello, Ten. It's good to see you too. So Kay has Tales of the Teal Mountain Sect. Chatty Maddie has Chapter 3. Hi, Chatty Maddie. Welcome on in. Lambda has Jumping Jack. Published these 2 chapters on AO3 already. And you plan on 10 chapters plus an epilogue. You summoned me? I didn't... I don't know if I summoned anyone in particular. I'll be fully honest. I forgot today was stream. I was just looking forward to watching Iron Lung with Roots today. Listening to The Dead right now, envying the lyrical ability of Robert Hunter. Okay, so that's like a band. The Dead is a band. Nice, nice. Triangle, Union. Well, I'm gonna guess it might be Uni. Uni-Unum. That one might be theirs. And then 10 also has Tristan. So I don't believe we've done Chatty Maddie recently. I don't believe we've done Lambda recently, right? You got a Friday prayer to attend in like an hour? I didn't even know that was a thing, but oh my goodness. Yeah, The Grateful Dead. Robert Hunter was one of 2 primary lyricists. And I think he's just a genius. Oh, so cool that you found an artist you like. That's awesome. So, Union, you said you have to go in a bit. How long is yours? Let me pull it up. Let's see how long this is. Is it a series of poems? Is that what yours is? I can pull it up here. Well, it's more of a poem in a grand scale of things. It's a continuous poem. Okay. But yeah, I'm so sorry, guys, that I was late. Full disclosure, I forgot today was stream night. I thought tomorrow was stream night, so oh my goodness. I didn't even think nothing of it. I was leaving the theater and I went to check this and I'm like, oh no. I went to check the Discord. I was like, oh no. Let's see. So it's 1, 2, 3 poems, with the last one being longer. So is there any incomplete, but that's because I got lower back pain, so I don't have the energy to continue it. That makes sense. It ended quite abruptly. Okay, so then we won't judge the ending because we know that it ended suddenly because of that. Is there any other context for it before we give it? Is it part of a story? Is it part of like a fantasy world? Is there any particular inspiration? I had to move very heavy cabinets alone. Oh, that always sucks. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry you hurt your back. But yeah, if there's any other context you want to let us know in chat. But otherwise, I will try. It does look like Aku Kosang Pratama. Ayumi. Is some of it in a different language? What language is it? It's the first entry to your fantasy world. Okay. So is this the fantasy language, or is it language based off a real language? Okay, they are Malay words. Okay. So I might say them wrong, so apologies. Meaning me, 0, Pratama. I don't know what Pratama means. So this one means, Aku means me. So Aku. Set the world, write the story, create the people, ink the design, revise them in the end. What matter is to have a story that can be read. Is it meant to be like this, or is it meant to be like what matters is to have a story that can be read? A story to consume, written by the finger behind the wall. To write a story that never makes sense. That never makes sense? Maybe that one should be plural with yes. It is meant to be like that. Okay. Even for the author, too confused. That is the story fate, and the author's skill. Wrote this based on how confused and empty my head is. What am I even typing right now? And then it's a continuous poem. I'm somewhat dyslexic. So I'm dyslexic too, so I get you. But was it's purposely meant to have some of those errors then? Kosong. It was barren, flat and uneventful. Young, undistinguished world. Nothing, nothing and nothing, nothing and nothing and nothing, nothing. Nothing. Soil were all grim and gray. Were all grim and gray? Glassy shade, dark ocean, indigo hue of sky and violent bright of violet cloud. Billions years, just as it is, until they finally emerge, the first of all giant, the Gargan among Gargan. Is that a word I just don't know? It might be. Kin of tyrant. Pratama, which you said it's me, 0, and then Pratama. I'm not sure what Pratama means, but I think it's what are the other words? A muli. The first was 10 and 100. Second was 1,000 and 10 of 1,000. Third was 100 of 1,000 and 1,000,000. Fourth was 10 of million and 100 of million. Fifth was 1,000,000,000. Sixth was thought of power. Seventh was thought of destruction. Eighth was thought of creation. Ninth was thought of immortality. 10th was thought of tyranny. For 100 day, why they were nothing. Hi there, what is it? You okay? Hold on 1 second. What's up there? Hold on 1 second, guys. Yeah, he's okay. I'm just checking on him. I'm almost here. The mouse gonna stop glaring at you guys in a second. Oh. Hello. Yeah, yeah. The dog was all right. He just had that look like, hey, if you don't let me out right this second, I will shit on this carpet. So I was like, oh nope, we gotta go. Yeah. He's an old man puppy, so we were just making sure he's okay. Hi. So we were at 10th was thought of tyranny. So we have first, second, third, fourth, fifth. Yeah, we have all that. For 100 day, why they were nothing, just roam and live, until they begin to form the terrain, the first of the tyrant. Zotrit. With he bring the continent tear apart, ocean engulfing the in-between at the most violent it could be. And so were separated the two mass. Was he okay? Did we get him out in time? Okay. Thank you. I'm sorry for calling you like that. I just want to make sure he was okay. And so were separated the two mass, the second of the tyrant. Kinoi Oe. She dug the greatest of crater, deeper than anything. From there she took all of it, and scorched her arm to the heat of the sun, in order to forge the first of weapon, in which felled upon with many name. Rod of war, rod of rot, staff of drought, stick of lot. So just here, just since it goes between stick and staff and rod, it seems like you're using... Hello, Callie, welcome on in. It seems like you're using a different... Hi, kittens. One for each one, like different names right here, but then rod is repeated. So I would suggest maybe finding another replacement for rod. That way it's one, each of these ones is different. That would be something else: rod, staff, and stick. And yet the truth of the name was luck of naught. With it she swung and split the mass into a drifting continental land. With it she hit the ground and quake come, the quake enough to shake beyond the extent of land beneath her. The ocean shook, some fall deeper into the new created valley. The greatest of all quake, magnitude 11 on earth. Mass of land brought 100 to thousands of length meter up, while other was brought 100 to 1,000 of length meter down. In 10-second, quarter billion, experienced death, the flash of death. Immortal is an immortal, but what is immortality to a greater immortal? Okay, have a good one, Callie. Good night. Perseverance can only endure so much in this quake of destruction. Ocean enraged by the destruction. Many mass of land brought down. Oh, I can't see it over your name. Many mass of land brought down by the water. You're using your geography knowledge and skill for it. Okay. So yeah, so mass of land. That's the geography. Which is why it ended quite abruptly, because I wanted to make sure it is correct. Okay. So you're saying this is the you said it was for world building work? Let me go back to see what you said earlier. It's the first entry in your fantasy world. So is this for your intention of this piece? Are you writing a fantasy novel and this is like an introduction in it, or is this just a fun writing exercise for the world? Well, like what is the intention? How do you intend to use this for your readers? It is the first official world building work. Okay. I'm not entirely sure if that can mean different things to different people. Some world building for some authors. I'm just trying to ask for clarity, because depending on the answers will be my advice for you. Hello, what? It's good to see you. Welcome on in. Official entry, but this is definitely the first draft. Yeah, that was gonna be another question. I'm like, I know you said you were dyslexic, and I'm dyslexic too, so I get you. But is there also a Google Translate or a secondary language aspect here? Just because some things were seemed a little funny or slightly off, and I just want to know what scope we're dealing with here. So you said it's world building. So is this just a fun thing for you for the world building? Because a lot of authors rewrite world building stuff that doesn't actually make it into the finished piece, but it's good for us as the writers to know it. Or is this like you mean to put this as entries throughout the novel, and people will get parts of these poems as they're reading chapters, or is this like the opening? Like when people first open the book, they'll see this, finish the poems, and then read the story. And I know that was a lot of questions back and forth, so I'll totally wait for a second while you answer them. But I just want to have an idea here, just because depending on those answers will change some of the critique. It is the opening. Okay. Alexa, turn off entry light. Okay. I think you write it like the Silmarillion in verse with the Bible. It's not translated to English. It's not translated to English. So, hold on. Maybe it's just because it's late. Maybe my brain's processing things a little slowly. So, I think we were asking, are you? Silmarillion. Thank you, Chatty Maddie. Silmarillion. And they end up picking up like archaic writing in the Quran and Bible and very old writing. Okay. So part of it, I do get that we're going for an older style of writing. I can see that. And you are including some other languages here. I think what we were asking is maybe, are you the author? Is English a second language? Is because some things here do read not funny as in like, oh, this is old style writing. Some of it just reads funny as in like it feels a little bit wrong, it feels off, regardless of if this was modern or English is your second language. Okay, so that gives me some information here, because otherwise I wouldn't mention it if you were like, oh, it's dyslexic, it's supposed to read this way. I think some of the issues that I'm noticing just grammar-wise or spelling-wise might be because English is a second language. And then we can point out some of those errors here to fix and make it flow a little bit better. Your Tolkien names are a headache to read. Tolkien did have some wonky names. I'll give you that. So let's see here. And I always give the caveat, I'm not the best at judging poetry. It is just a different skill set to critique and edit poetry, and I'm not an expert on poetry. But let's see here. So I think this part, set the world, write the story, create the people, and the design, revise them in the end. I think that's supposed to read like that way, so I won't critique that. I think it's supposed to be in the end. What matters, it should have like the S at the end, is to have a story that can be read. Do you want to highlight things as I point them out? Would that make it easier? Because otherwise it might be like a lot of little nitpicky edits, and I don't want you to forget about them. So if just highlighting whichever ones I highlight is easier for you, you can go ahead and do that. I'm fine with that, since I think you're in the Word document too right now. So this one I think should be, what matters is to have a story that can be read. A story to consume, written by the finger behind the wall. Sure, I'm fine with it. Yep, so you just highlight that one. To write a story that never makes sense. Even for the author too confused. Chat, what do you think? Should it be even for the author to be confused? Am I correct in thinking that one? Funnily enough, I write it without the letter S because when I pronounce it, it does not have an S sound. Anyone here can correct me. I don't believe I'm making a mistake. Because it should be what matters. Right? Is anyone else in chat? Just Chat and Maddie, just 10? It should be what matters, or am I completely making something up here? If you want, just highlight it and we can come back to it. Highlight matter, highlight make. Yeah, you think it is an S after matter? Okay, so I'm not completely crazy. Thank you, Crimson. I thought it would be to be confused, but English isn't my first language, so take it with a grain of salt. You're lost because you just joined? It's okay, what? We are critiquing some poetry. Now, some of the poetry is meant to be slightly off. It is intentionally off for some things, but I am trying to point out where some of the grammar, some of the words are off that I think aren't intentional. Because the author is English as a second language, sometimes there's that just slightly off things that don't sound natural. It is matters. It's just that my accent caused it to be silent completely. You might didn't say, okay, thank you. Yeah, but we don't write, unless we're copying someone's accent in dialogue, we don't really copy an accent in our writing. It is matters. It's just that my accent caused it to be silent completely. Okay. But yeah, but in writing here, since this isn't dialogue, it's prose, we wouldn't go off the accent. We would still type it normally. So matter, make, and then even for the author, I believe it's to be confused. Even for the author, to be confused would be this next line. Am I just not seeing the highlights? Did you want to highlight? I thought you said you did. Maybe I misread it though. Opening really. But otherwise, those are my initial first little, just the small little edits. And then I think when people are reading it, they won't be tripping up over some of the things that are off. Then they can read it more as the piece that you're intending. It is a meta view on the world building to mention that this world lives in a story. Is it a meta view on the world building to mention that this world lives in a story? Set the world, write the story. I was almost thinking of like, oh, it's talking about history, because sometimes history is a story. But maybe you're right. Maybe this is talking about the story we're about to read is a story. That's the fourth wall. Yeah, meta, it's fourth wall. I think maybe that is the story. I think the and story maybe then should be capitalized. That is the story, fate. Or maybe that is the story's fate. We're all living a story, our stories. Yeah, maybe that's what it's going for. I am not seeing you highlight, so I'm just gonna continue pointing out some of the different things. Maybe you'll just go back and listen to it and make the adjustments later. That's fine. But I if you are highlighting, I'm just not seeing the highlights on my screen. But I'm going to guess even for the author to be confused, I think there should be a to be. I think he means that even the author, creator, God, is confused by his own creation. He might be. That is the story's fate. I think it's supposed to be the story's fate, so then it should be apostrophe S. Like it's the fate of the story. That is the story's fate. And the author's skill. And the author's skill wrote this based on how confused and empty my head is. I actually did not notice I forgot to put the word be there. Okay. Hello, Decaffeinates. Good to see you. Maybe I overinterpret. I'm not quite sure. I think maybe once we have the idea of what the story is about, that would happen after this poem, maybe we would have a better idea of how it applies. So I'm not, maybe this is a bit funny. I don't think I'm going to critique too much on the story or the meaning of the poem, just because I don't have that context, right? So it might be a little silly. Oh my goodness, Ghost, you are just playing around on that cat tree. Hi. But since I don't have that context, it might be a little presumptuous. I might give wrong advice for the plot and the pacing, the meaning of it. They are a mix of actual mistake I purposely left because of my writing, while some are just actual words I forgot to write. Um, yeah, so if this was a poem about you being dyslexic, then I could see leaving some spelling errors in. If the poem is about the story and the world building, and it doesn't have to do with dyslexia in your story, then I'm not quite sure why leaving in the dyslexia. Yeah, might be a nice nod to you, but I can also say me myself as a dyslexic person, as a diagnosed dyslexic person since I was an itty bitty baby cryptid, actually leaving in these mistakes and errors makes it harder for me to read. It's actually giving me a little bit of a headache. It's making it less easy for dyslexic people to read this. And I think even just non-dyslexic people, it's a little funny to read. It's hard to understand what you're doing here. My bad. No, I don't want you to feel bad about it. I'm just letting you know. Is the story about you being dyslexic? Hello, Nevermore. It's good to see you. If the story and this poem is about dyslexia, then I could see you leaving in dyslexic mistakes. But if the story is a fantasy story that has to do with geography and gods and divine creations and all this other different stuff, and immortality and oceans and land masses, that to me doesn't seem like it's about dyslexia. So then I'm not sure why all the dyslexic mistakes are in this poem. Oh, we doing poems now? This person did submit a poem, and I'm gonna try my bestest to give advice. But hello PP, welcome on in. Imagine a god is dyslexic, so he creates an imperfect world out of his own writing. Okay, but even then, the poem itself doesn't mention dyslexia, so anyone who, let's say this is the beginning of the novel, who was just reading this, has no idea that this author is dyslexic. We only know that because they mentioned it in chat to explain this, to explain the meta. We only know that because they told us. So any reader who picks up this book, opens the first page, sees all of this and sees all those mistakes, has no idea this is some commentary about dyslexia. And it's just like, oh damn, there's a lot of spelling and grammatical mistakes here, and then they just close the book and they put it away and they never pick it up again. It's, if the title of it was dyslexia and the poem was about dyslexia, then the readers might clue in to be like, oh, this is a dyslexic author writing about struggling with dyslexia, and then it would have errors in it, like someone with dyslexia would put in. I met a woman who wanted a poem given away by a novel. Look at that. If you guys are hearing all that running around, it is just one singular cat. It is Ghost just jumping up and down the cat tree doing parkour. Maybe writing the physical feeling of dyslexia through the poem. Which, yeah, if that's the intention, that's why I'm trying to figure out what the intention of this is. They mention it's world building. They mention it's for a story. So if the story's about maybe the main character's dyslexic, and maybe the character in the novel wrote this poem, maybe that would be something, but I'm not quite getting the context. The story is not about dyslexia at all. It's just a genuine fantasy world building, but translation into English ended up being problematic. Yeah, so that's why we did ask, like, is this being translated? And it is translated then, because English is your second language, and that's understandable. Aku is supposed to be like a sort of fourth wall thing. Because you said Aku was new? Okay. But again, if this is the start of a fantasy world building, I'm not sure the readers would understand this meta and how it's about you, the author, and you're leaving in grammar mistakes. If this is their first experience picking up your work and reading it. Oh, is there another misunderstanding? Jesus, Ghost. Yeah? Is there some other... Oh, let's see, story's not about dyslexia at all. It's just a genuine fantasy world building. So, I would explain more, but Friday prayer is near, so I had to get ready. Okay. But since you do have to go soon, I'll just end with the thoughts. if the story is not about dyslexia and the character isn't dyslexic, I'm not sure you should purposefully leave dyslexic mistakes in the writing. That seems like it's just errors. Your readers won't pick up on the fact, like, oh, it's a dyslexic writer, leaving in issues that makes it harder to read. They won't know that. So I think being open to fixing the dyslexic mistakes. Like, what is the meaning behind the writer? They were saying that they're dyslexic and it's mistakes they genuinely make, so they purposely left them in. But I wasn't sure why they're purposely letting it in if the story's not about dyslexia. So that. I think that will be my critique today. I think maybe rethink leaving in the errors. I think you should try and have somebody fix those errors. Because the story's not about dyslexia and the character's not dyslexic. I don't know why we're having dyslexic mistakes purposely left in the text. But otherwise, I know you have to leave soon. You actually had it read by some other friend. I wonder why they did not give feedback on it when it came to the errors. I'm glad you pointed out the error. Okay, so it is an error then. I thought earlier you said you purposely left it in, so that's why I was like a little confused. But when, maybe another day, if you want to resubmit this in the future when you don't have a prayer that you're running off to get ready for, and maybe we can go through this a little bit deeper, because I do want this to work for you and your intention with this fantasy story you're working on. But otherwise, that will be my critique for now, and I hope you have a wonderful, wonderful event, wonderful prayer event that you're running off to. Thank you so much for submitting. I hope this wasn't like too harsh of a critique. It was just pointing out like, wait, I'm not sure the connection here. But otherwise, hey, from one dyslexic person to another, I hope I helped out a little bit and gave you some food for thought. Otherwise, have a wonderful night. So that is the first person. Thank you so much, Uni. Let's see here. Oh my goodness, I wasn't planning on being done with the first critique that fast. I wasn't planning, but they said they had to go in like an hour, so I wanted to read it real fast and give them that feedback. So for now, I will delete that. And if you would like to resubmit, about 20 more minutes before 10. Oh, goodbye. Oh, okay. It's actually the critique you wanted. Okay, that's good. That's good. But yeah. Oh, is everyone saying GG now? Like in a game? Like a game? Is that what we're gonna say at the end of critique? I kind of like that. I think in real life, sometimes we do like finger snaps and stuff like too, or we do like little applauses. But yeah, since you guys are in chat, we can't do that. Maybe GG is... Maybe GG is the way we have to end it. Otherwise, Lambda, you do have a submission. Yeah. Wait, is there another one? Triangle, you have a submission. I don't believe Triangle's in yet. I think when Triangle's in, I told them to let me know because they also have limited time. All hail the Cryptid Mockingjay salute. Thanos ruined that for everyone. Oh yeah, the snaps. Thanos did kind of ruin that, right? I'm not feeling good, Mr. Stark. Fucking dramatic. I'm actually still behind on the Spider-Man movies. That's one of the few Marvel movies I want to keep up with. But there's just so many Marvel movies that I feel like I got overwhelmed, and so I didn't even keep up with the Spider-Man ones. But I got it. That's like the one series I want to watch in all of the Marvel stuff. But you came back. The universe can handle my snap out. Thanos can't erase you. Well, yeah, Thanos only erased like half of everybody. Thanos only erased half of everything. Was it ever established? Sorry, anyone who's watched more of the Marvel movies. Did Thanos snap half of all living beings? Like half of pandas, half of all cats, half... Or is it just like humanoid beings? Like humans in the alien species. Luckily, I'm crushing Zuma tonight. This is the best I've ever played the game. Nice. Do you think you would be snapped? Oh, I would be devastated if I was snapped, just because then, like, who's gonna feed all my cats or half my cats, you know, like, dear God. That's what, like, freaks me out, uh, yes, last 2 worlds. I got every level under Ace Time. Half of all life, half of everything. She's like, half of all it's so stupid. It's so stupid. Thanos needs... Jeez, God. Maybe your cat's got snapped. Yeah, well, I have a lot of them, so probably only half of them would get snapped. But then who would be here to feed the other half, you know? But that's what I'm saying. Like, if you want to get rid of half of all life, like Thanos does, because of... So that way there's enough resources for everybody. But some of those resources are other life. Like, if you got rid of half of all mice, well, now there's less prey animals for predators to eat. So even though there's half as many predators, like, it's half as many predators, half as many, that's the same amount of resources. Technically, Bucky's arm should have survived. Well, I think when everyone got snapped, like, they got snapped with, like, their clothes and everything, right? Like, their glasses, their hair. So I guess the fact that the arm was attached, the same as, like, everyone was wearing clothes and stuff. Yep, and Rocket should have owned it. You're just saying that because you guys like raccoons and Rocket's a raccoon. I would genuinely, though, be devastated. My ghost spirit, I know they weren't actually ghost watching over anything, like, for them, like, no time passed, they just got snapped and then they came back. But, like, metaphorically, my ghost would be watching over all my cats, and I'd be like, no! Who's feeding my cats? They have scheduled meal times. They have particular places they like their plates to be in. No. They're all picky with their water bowls. You have to keep them all full. If you're too late giving them food, they throw up. Please. Imagine those poor people who are taking a shower during the snap. Well, think of the poor people who are in the middle of crossing the street. And then, like, everyone gets snapped back. They're suddenly back there in the middle of the street years later, so, you know, cars are still just coming in, and then they instantly die because they got hit by cars after being snapped back. It was not a good plan. We have something on our ceiling, god damn it. Instead of what if. What was I saying? Lambda. Lambda, are you still here, or are you busy? Are you busy with your game? You were mentioning game earlier. You were doing Zuma, right? What happens if you get snapped and where you disappear, now there's a wall? Yeah, see, like, there's horrific stuff. You're here. Okay, good. Let's see... Lambdas. How's that? The real Avengers Doomsday is gonna be Marvel's earnings report next year. How would they not have started a Thanos cult? Yeah, there's a lot of over-righteous, awful, dumb people who think they're smart who would absolutely join a Thanos cult, thinking he's the big brain, Giga Chad. That's depressing. So this is Jumping Jack Flash. Sympathy for the Devil. Oh, like the song? Yeah, hope you guessed my name. Ah! So, let's see here. What did it say about this? It said, I published these 2 chapters on AO3 already. Also, so it's a fanfic. I do love some fanfic writers. You guys are holding fanfic communities. You guys are holding fan communities together. I love it. And on 10 chapters and an epilogue. I am not really a fiction writer. I trade, but I've enjoyed the writing process of this so far. Would you like to tell us what fandom this is in? What fandom? Is it about OC? Is it... I'm looking down and I'm seeing Pokemon. Half die to fully live. Marvel must be appeased, or the other half must die. Oh god. So they don't even... In your version of this cult, Chatty Matty, they don't even like Thanos. They're just like, shit, this dude will just keep snapping half the population down unless we keep him happy, this asshole. Oh shit. Yeah, no one likes fucking Thanos. Fucking dusty raisin ass face. But yeah, Lambda, if there's any particular context for it. How many pages is it? Okay, we have 23 pages. I won't be able to read that far tonight, but I will try to get a couple pages in and give you some feedback or critique on the first few pages. You should never read a good poem in front of Thanos. Why is that? Lady Death, I'll just stick with Agatha. Thanos is creepy. I didn't even watch the Agatha All Along series, and a lot of people actually liked that one, and I'm like, I'm so tired of Marvel. Please, I genuinely want to watch the Spider-Man ones, and I'm still behind on the Spider-Man ones just because I'm so exhausted with Marvel. Oh, because people snap their fingers to clap for the poem. Oh dear God. I mean, I'm really happy with this writing, but now I'm very nervous about someone actually reading it. I don't want you to be nervous. If you want like a more gentle critique, just like I said, I think you're one of a first or second time submitting here. I don't believe I've read too much of your work yet. So again, it's not going to be an overly harsh critique. I'll just try to point out one or two things. And it's not even just necessarily for like, oh, you should go back and fix this, edit this. It might even just be something like, hey, in your future writing, right? Because we get better by just continuing writing, working more on stories, more on chapters, more on this, more that, and the other. In the future, you might want to do such and such. You might want to handle descriptions this way in the future. This might be a better way to approach transition scenes in the future, right? I sometimes just give advice for your next future work, so it's not all doom and gloom. I don't want you to feel bad about it. OG Thanos was also one that saw death and fell for her, and she fell for Deadpool. Yep, I do remember people talking about that comic arc. Imagine being friend-zoned by death for a clown. That is not fair, because you can't look at Thanos and say that man isn't also a clown. It's choosing between two clowns, and hey, at least Deadpool's hotter, even with how fucked up his face is, and he's a lot more fucked up in some of the comics than in the live-action movies. He can be really fucked up looking at some of those comics, but he's still better looking than Thanos. Oh my god. What was a fun comic series? Oh, that was a fun comic series. Yeah. I haven't read the comics too much, but I see my little snippets of it. I'm a Tumblr kid. I saw people talking about all those comics on Tumblr. They teamed up and then fought each other. Bit off formula. Damn, that's harsh. You're uglier than manipulated. Oh my god. I can hear Deadpool sneaking around the fourth wall breaker. Genuinely. Thanos could even, like, look better. He could not look as bad as Thanos does. And I'd still choose any man over Thanos. His personality's ugly, too. Dear God. It kind of speaks for itself, I think. Oh, okay, so I think I get what this is about pretty quickly, but I can elaborate if need be. Okay, so you're just gonna give me no context. Okay. Wait, all the time, no context. Got it. I'm just going in raw. Okay. This is chapter 1. Where I come from didn't matter then, and it doesn't matter now. All that mattered is where I was ending up. It's really the chin part that doesn't serve him well. The chin part, the raisin part, the him part, the all of him part. Thanos is just trash. Just leave him in the dumpster. And if anyone takes him out, whack him with a broom. Put him back out there. I do not want that man. I have low standards for men, and they still continue to surprise me with how low they can go. And then Prunes just isn't ideally looking. And then yeah, Thanos easily. And I'm pretty much like, yeah, I'll absolutely be like, oh yeah, hot villains hot. Even some ugly villains, but you know, they got the good vibes. And I'll be like, yeah, I get that, smash. There's some strange things, and I'll be like, yeah, smash. Thanos? No, what's likable? Barry meets her future wife, rants about her dead boss. Yeah, so, okay. Where I come from didn't matter then, and it doesn't matter now. All that mattered is where I was ending up. So, just as a quick note, where I come from didn't matter then, and it doesn't matter now. It sounds like we're speaking in present tense. And if we are, then maybe it should be all that matters is where I was ending up. Maybe it should be matters. I'm not quite sure. I'm not 100% sure. But maybe put a little question mark. Maybe. Cryptid's not entirely sure about that note, but just maybe. Besides, where I came from ain't all that interesting anyways. Small towns are a dime a dozen in Kanto as far as I'm concerned, and Pallet Town is just another one of them. The most interesting thing about that place is just the Pokemon lab that my Gramps has been in charge of for who knows how long. I'm pretty sure he's been the head of that lab since my folks married. All that stuff meant I got an early start to the whole training thing. I've been doing it since I was 5. They say it's rude to toot your own horn, but hell, if I had a horn, I'd be using it an awful lot. Ah! I like that line. I like that line. That's a great line. The worst you can say is no. Her. I have low standard and I can't. Oh my god. Yeah. Sorry, all I hear is Pokemon. but Jen pointing me out. I'm actually very nice and like sometimes almost too nice with letting people down easy in real life. But normal people in real life genuinely aren't as fucking horrible as Thanos. Like, come on. Oh my god. But we're also living in a pretty bad timeline. I think it's like any of those like neo-Nazi type shit people start hitting on me now. I go full out. Kind of like that too, wouldn't I? I destroy their self-esteem. It's pretty bad. I can be really mean in my thoughts. I'm just normally nice enough not to say it aloud. I guess except someone's talking about Thanos as their standard, which is like, yeah. It's pretty dialectic, I think. Yes, yeah, the not author, the main character's voice is coming through a lot. Yeah. I think you're really nice. Thanos deserves it. Thanos does deserve it. We're fine. But yeah, I really like that line. That's a good line. I've been to my Gramps' lab who knows how many times. And I've gotten familiar with everyone there. They all know me, and I think I'm alright to be around. Ordinarily, I wouldn't wander in unannounced, but today was different. Okay. But today was different. So today we are at the lab. I've been practically begging my folks for years to finally get off and be a real Pokemon trainer, because frankly, I was getting real bored of messing around with Gramps' old Pokemon with the other kids. I was ready for a real challenge. I wanted to face trainers that could actually compete with me. Once you're old enough was always the answer. But when you're waiting to be old enough for 15 years, you start to get impatient. 15 years. And he's been training since he was 5, so he's 20 now? Am I correct with that? No. I suppose that 16 turned out to be the magic number because that was finally the time that my mom gave in and said I'm old enough. So you've been asking since you were 1? If you ask me, I was ready by age 10, but I guess it takes a while for other people to see that. So for 15 years you were impatient. 16, you were old enough. The implication is that he's been asking since he was born, which he obviously hasn't. Okay. Anyways, I made sure to get to Gramps' lab early that day because he was. Oh, thank you for the hydrate or dihydrate. I actually Being bad today. I still have my soda from the movie theater. I don't have my water. I don't know if you guys heard that sippy, but yeah, it's just my soda still. Oh, I scrolled down real quick there. What did you watch? Me and Roots went out to see Iron Lung. We got to see Iron Lung. We need to after dark stream where Cryptid reads spicy stories. No, that ain't happening here. I'm not the Cryptid for that. Sorry. We see your avatar going off, blank head, and then sip of water. Yeah, that's how you always know it's a genuine sippy. I always have to go off and take my sippy. And it takes a while for other people to see that. Anyways, I made sure to get to Gramps' lab early that day because he always said that he'd give me one of his old Pokemon when the time came for me to go out on my own. Turns out I was too early. That day. So I'm wondering here, so before the narrator mentions the character mentions it's today. Or now I want to wander unannounced, but today was different. So the narration is happening today. But then here, anyway, I made sure to get to Gramps' lab early that day, making it sound like it's in the past. How was the Iron Lung movie? I kind of want it to bomb, to be honest. Why do you want it to bomb? That seems weird. I thought it was pretty good. There were certain parts that I wasn't like as in love with. Like some of the camera angles got a little shaky at one scene. And it was a little dark. It was hard to tell, but I think it was supposed to be like that because we are like supposed to be like, what's happening? What's happening? Oh no. So I think it was purposeful. But otherwise, I thought it was a great movie, especially if you're a fan of the game. If you've seen the game, then you kind of know. I could have sworn I had caught all that. I gotta be more careful with tense stuff. That's a big mistake. It's not a big mistake, but I just noticed it earlier too. At the first line, I'm like, oh, tenses can be tricky. It's my personal opinion. Wait, out there, like I'm confused. You haven't even seen it yet. How is it your opinion? It just got released. You haven't even seen it yet, and you want it to suck? That's not an opinion, that's a want. Why do you want it to suck? Superman with Henry? Shaky Chaos? In the game, they go off a journey at age 11. But I think the story is more responsible. That's true. He's 16 in this one? Yeah, which I think is, like, legally an adult in Europe. Is that an adult in Europe? Here in the US, it's 18. I do take some creative liberties with the retelling. Okay. Because he always said that he'd give me one of his old Pokemon. Wait, where was I? Turns out I was too early. You always hear people say it's better to be an hour early than a minute late. But have you ever actually tried to have an hour pass by with nothing to do? Try it and then come back to me and tell me that being a minute late is really all that bad. I do like this. You're being honest because I don't want YouTubers to be crossing over to mainstream movie directors and then make stupid YouTube videos crying about it for months. YouTube TV is one thing, don't do big cinema. You do know Markiplier has already made like movies and TV shows, right? He already has it. He's already done like YouTube shows and stuff, and they've been like really good. People said like great things about him, and no, I think it was a great movie. I thought it was fantastic. I think he was somebody who's great at doing these creative projects, and that happening to have a YouTube platform has given him an audience to do this thing that he is really talented and creative at doing. But Author Relic, you're silly. Me and Raka Raka working with A24 to make a movie. Raka Raka? I'm not quite sure I understand the reference. And hi, you're still home, Uni. Welcome on in. But I really like this line. I some of the scenes I've been pointing them out. I really like some of the lines here for the narrator. Has a lot of that personality and voice coming through. Besides, if I'm late, it's for a good reason. I like keeping people on their toes. Anyways, I spent the next while doing absolutely nothing of use. Mostly just looking around or talking to one of Gramps' science buddies who was working. I didn't want to chat too much and keep them from their work and all, but they're interesting people. They know a heck of a lot about Pokemon, that's for sure. Almost as much as Gramps. Yeah, the narrator is really cool, I agree with you. In my head, I was going for like a James Dean Anakin kind of cocky. Okay. That's how it was for a while. A whole lot of nothing. That wasn't until he walked in, red, swaggering on in with his weird, quiet footsteps and that jacket and hat that I swear he always wears. If you knew him, believe me, you'd know that he always wears the same 2 sets of clothes. He's a weird guy, but more than that, he's been my neighbor and sort of friend all my life. My enemy for even longer than that. You're not silly. You've been overexposed. Plus, I stopped being a fan of Markiplier a few years back, but good for him if it's an actual real thing and not just a cash grab like the other YouTubers out there. First of all, Markiplier is wealthy enough. You just don't need a cash grab. And those other YouTubers you mentioned are like fucking horrible people. I'm sorry, Author Relic. I think you are being a little silly here. That's me being very nice about it. I think you're being a little silly here. Also, choosing the right game to adapt is something games don't as much get into the door. That's true, not a lot of games get adaptations. Is the narrator Blue or Gary? Is he? I know that he's saying they've been rivals for longer than he's been alive. The narrator's Blue, dabba-dee dabba-da. He's a weird guy, but more than that, he's been my neighbor and sort of friend all my life. My enemy for even longer than that. He's the only person in town that could best me in something. Well, almost best me in something. Just as good in school, just as good at games, almost as tall, almost as cool, and almost as old. Of course, I have him beat on those fronts. Okay, maybe he's a bit taller than me, but you can't even tell. This is fantastic. Yeah, the almost is so sassy. The maybe right here, I love it. The personality, the personality of the narrators is fantastic. Almost as tall, almost as cool. I don't know, Author. Like, to give you like a change of perspective here, you're kind of sounding a little bit, and maybe you're not intending to, but you're like, oh yeah, well, if you're these big YouTubers, I don't want all these people just coming here and making shitty ass movies in case they make bad ones and stuff. They're blah, 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 blah. You know, similarly, there's a lot of feelings about that with self-published authors versus traditional publishing, right? And I know that you are a self-published author, and I think you're a very good author. But if you had that same people being like, oh, I wish all these people who just couldn't get into traditional publishing, didn't try self-publishing, there would be that same sentiment from some people in these creative fields. And really, we do have some shining examples of independently self-published books. And I think Markiplier here, if this movie does well and his other production works have done really well, then hey, that's fantastic for Markiplier, and we don't need to make it this wide sweeping gesture of all YouTube people make shitty creative projects off of YouTube, and all independently published authors suck at this, and all people who do this route in their life are going to be bad at it, right? We don't need to be playing those rules. We can just do whatever. We can just hang out. For me, Mark's movie is a very exciting prospect that we are not reliant on the powers that be, that's true, old media, to actually have success in those fields. I've been really excited for some of the indie animation companies that are coming out and having some really huge success, regardless of if you like those animation projects yourself. The fact that they are self-funded and crowd-funded and being successful is huge news. It gives so much more rights and creative freedom, and you're right, like it lets people who can't rely on those big media powers, those powerhouses in any corporation, any field, be able to go out and do their own thing without having to rely on them. It gives them opportunities. It gives them a chance at legitimacy. Gatekeeping is cool until you're the one getting get. That's how I was trying to make the little analogy here. Like, hey, like, you don't do that to movies and other creative media. Ghosts, do not get my drink. When similar, that kind of attitude's also in publishing. It's in any media. There's always going to be that gatekeeping thing. Yeah, we can play on their turf and reach those heights, those financially successful heights, without playing by their rules. It is really fun. What's happening? What's happening? I just got a little distracted by chat. That's all. That's all. I just got distracted by chat. Let the streak be evidence that Cryptid is consistently staying up past human hours. You ignore the gatekeepers? Well, that's the thing about if it was... The reason why people point out gatekeeping is because it does keep out somebody. They have enough authority and power that it's not about ignoring them. They can physically gatekeep people out. Gatekeeping is only more if it's like a nature spot. I don't even say that's gate. Is that just regulation? Is regulation versus gatekeeping different? That's an interesting take. Besides that, it is super lame. Ganged up on this and this and this, and then when I searched for allies, I was alone to defend myself. You mean gatekeepers and fandoms? True, yeah, and fandoms, you have the right to, like, just ignore them. That's true. Makes the fandom experience so much better. Just to mind your business and just have fun in a fandom. Hold on, there's gonna be noises because I'm adjusting my seat. Okay. Hi, Lupin. Oh my goodness, that is a big thing. I'm not restricting access to YouTubers or anything. I'm just saying I don't enjoy the type of entertainment. You don't even know what the entertainment is, just a movie. They'll make Mark's movie will be his fans mostly. Good for him. I haven't seen any of his work beyond YouTube videos, but given the track record of YouTubers who move over into mainstream, it's not always good. That's true. It's not always good. I think if you have anything about anything, it's not always good. I think that's a silly expectation to have. It will always be good. We don't need to be making fun of each other in chat. We can all be nice here and just be chatting about it. But you're just saying earlier, Authorek, and that's why I was being nice. I'm just saying it's silly. Like, you want it to fail, and I'm like, well, that's so nice to wish it to fail. You can wish if it's bad it will fail, but you don't know if it's bad or not yet. Just posted once. Anyone posting negativity on this post had consented for their profile to be used on the gatekeeping documentary. Oh my goodness. Anyway, maybe this is enough chat about that. Maybe we can let this go right now. But otherwise, yeah, it was just an interesting conversation about gatekeeping. I think that was all. But we can let it go for now. And hey, let's keep reading about this Pokemon story. I think the narration is really, really good. Like, it's very... He's a bit taller than me, but you can't even tell. Your grandfather said he had something for me. Here was all that Red said. Oh, I did not say that in Red's voice at all. Hold on. Your grandfather said he had something for me here, was all that Red said. Typical Gramps. Always as nice as can be to everyone, even dorks like Red. If it were up to me, I'd tell Red to kick bricks, but clearly Gramps had something for him, so I'll play along. Grandpa, what you got? Is it Pikachu? I actually don't know too much about the red character and the blue character. I think I mentioned this before. I didn't have money when I was little. I couldn't play any of the Pokemon games. I could only ever watch the TV show, and I had some of the movies. Let's continue with gaslighting and girl bossing instead, aka critique. Am I gaslighting and girl bossing you guys? Maybe. But yeah, so if anyone has more, who is a bigger like game Pokemon fan, who has more context to Red and Blue, hey, let me know. Maybe you guys can point stuff out too. Fresh eyes and things that just sound linguistically weird. Has anything really weird happened? One or two sentences were a little long. But that could also just be like the voice still, so I wasn't gonna mention that. Well, Gramps ain't around yet. Can't tell you where he is or when he'll be here. All that was the truth. Besides, I know what he's planning, and let me tell you, it ain't special. And that part was not the truth. Red looked around the lab a bit after I said that, and I could see that he had also spotted the 3 Pokeballs on one of the tables. I knew that Gramps was saving one of them for me. And from Red's curious little look, part of me thought that he could tell I was blowing smoke. After a bit, he looked back at me and finally spoke again. Red's reply was friendly enough. Well, when he gets back, could you let me know? Typical. He's friendly enough with my family, but he's usually not that determined to see any of them. You know, with his own family to keep him busy and such. I decided to humor him. I'll yell for you, sure. Continues to produce. But of what I was kind of paying attention to. I think it's balanced out. Yeah, it's a pretty good mix of short sentences that are more punchy, and then the longer sentences, it's a pretty good mix. Just of those longer sentences, some of them are slightly too long. 'Twas gaming. Ooh. Were you playing Pokemon? That would be on theme. With that, Red gave a nod and he stepped out not long after, giving a friendly goodbye to the people working as he did. Just what I expect. Typical quiet, sincere Red. Always polite to everyone. Good for him, I guess. But I don't need to flatter people to get ahead. Not that he spends his time talking people up. Hell, Red barely talks much. Whenever he does, it's always in that lame, soft voice, like he's just gotten a cold or something. I never really got that about him, and I still don't. Maybe I just talk too much, but frankly, I feel like I don't talk enough. So that is the end of chapter 1. I believe now this is chapter 2. Yeah. I love that he's obsessed with Red. Why you so obsessed with me? Oh, each chapter is in 4 sections. Oh, so this is still the first chapter, just section 2. That's interesting. I haven't seen a format like that. Okay. Not long after Red went off to wherever a guy like him goes. Probably some sort of tea shop or whatever. Gramps walks into the lab. He may be older, but he certainly doesn't act it with all the energy he's got. Always walking with a smile and like he's got 30 different things to do that day. And he'll be damned if he doesn't get them done. This is not a romance fic. Lambda, you just crushed my hopes and dreams. Lambda, how can... I need a crying emote on this model. Where's a toggle? I need to assign that as a toggle. I need to cry. Oh. No, but there's process. Fine, I'll see what I can do. We'll just headcanon that it is. Let's see. He's been like that since I was a kid, and if folks are to be believed, he was even crazier when he was younger. If his hair wasn't gray, there'd be no way to tell he was actually in his early 60s. Ah, Blue. I was wondering when you'd get here, but it seems you've even got me beat today, he said, before giving that old friendly smile of his. It's hard not to like Gramps. He's pretty cool. He's one of maybe 3 people I'll actually hug to. Peer pressure gang. I almost finished updating my lore page. Ooh, that's exciting. There's your reveal. Hi there, Gramps. Was it, let me know, chat, is it he's one of maybe 3 people I'll actually hug, as in I will actually hug too? Or he's one of maybe 3 people I'd actually hug to, as in I would actually hug to? Should it be I would, or I will? I'm not quite sure. I wanted to wait until at least a little bit into the chapter before the name drop. Oh, that this is the blue character. Depending on your sleep schedule, you might have 2 submissions for next stream. That's exciting. Or I would be willing to. He's one of maybe 3 people I'd be willing to hug to. I'm not quite sure about that one. Maybe that one doesn't feel quite as in the narrator's tone of voice. I think the contraction does sound like his tone of voice. I'm just not sure if it's supposed to be owl or I'd. I think it could be either or. Maybe I'm just hyperfixating on that. Hey there, Gramps. Gramps lives in town, so it isn't like I never see him. It's just that it's always nice to see him. It helps that he knows the answer to literally any question about Pokemon that I have. Maybe any question that anyone has. Who knows? For a minute, I had already forgotten that Red had even showed up. How that even happened, I'm not sure. Maybe Gramps is just more interesting than Red. Well, not maybe. It's definitely, but that's all besides the point. I figured I should give Gramps the scoop anyways. Hey, by the way, Red was in a couple minutes ago. Maybe a bit longer? You said you had something for him and to let him know when you got here. I don't know where he went off to after that. Hello, Lucy. Welcome on in. Right now, we're actually reading submissions from some of the chatters in here. And then after I read a couple pages, I try to give 1 or 2 pieces of critique. Wasn't the font justified in previous section? Hold on, let me highlight this so I don't lose my track. But yeah, I give 1 or 2 pieces of critique, so if you like hearing like editing or story suggestions, then hey, this is the place for you. Well, a new person, wasn't the font justified in previous section? Literally any question, and maybe any question that anyone has. Are you asking about this? This font change right here? I think it worked. I put, when I was reading it, it's the answer to literally any question. Like, you put some emphasis on it. And then maybe any question that anyone has. You know, you kind of change how you read it when it's this font. And I don't believe it's overused. I don't believe we saw a smidge here. And no, it's not really overused or anything. I think it works well. Yeah, you did put emphasis. That's how I read it. So I think that's fine. Justified as in align equals justify. Wait. But no, it's left side all the way. I'm not quite sure I understand triangle tool, but if you said no, it's left side all the way, maybe that's right. I'm getting back to writing myself after a long break. Customer service job and holiday season. Yes, I've worked several customer service jobs. I feel you. I've been a supervisor even. I did really well at customer service jobs, which is hell. So great to find a place to listen in and hear others work. Yeah. I actually started this. I was learning how to stream. And people said, oh, in the beginning, no one will actually tune in to watch you stream, right? Because you're just a nobody, you have 0 viewers, right? So you should just do something that you can chat about to empty air for a while, because you want to keep talking and learning how to stream and be a good streamer. And so I was like, oh, okay, I need something to talk about. So I started it in really November, and I was doing like the NaNoWriMo. I was just writing a rough draft live on stream, and I was talking about it and my thought process and just saying everything aloud. And then people started tuning in, and I was like, and then I got affiliate very fast, and it was like really shocking. And yeah, we just hang out here. Sometimes I write, sometimes I game, but a lot of nights it's you guys actually submitting stuff, and I read it and I give 1 or 2 critiques the best that I can for whatever you're trying to do. But yeah, it's a nice little place to hang out, and if that's your vibe, then hey, we'd love to have you in. Don't mind my formatting obsessed ass. Hey, that's really good. Like I said, I'm normally better at developmental and some line edit suggestions, but if you're good at that copy and formatting edits, then that's a great thing to be aware of, Triangle Toll. It's something I'm not the best at. So if you ever do have suggestions for that, please let us know in chat. That's always really helpful. I had to ring in a few of my more crazy writing habits. I use M dashes all the time. When I was young, I'm definitely a bit how I did love M dashes a lot. But I decided that Blue wouldn't be that kind of guy that uses them all the time. They are seldom used. That's over M dash. I love M dashes. I was playing Star Wars when I got affiliate. Looking at this reminds me of why I liked writing this a lot, actually. Lambda, that's such a good feeling. I always want you guys to remember why you guys like writing. Our stories are cool. Our stories and our ideas are really cool, and we put in a lot of effort and stuff to actually write them down and try and be good at it. So I'm glad that you're remembering that you like this. That's fantastic, especially since you still have several chapters to write. I toss some of my stuff sometime. That would be incredible. Is it Loci lore or Loki lore? Well, obscurity but got popular instead. Blue people problems feel. Well, I think because again, Cryptid Roots is a business. Me and Roots did it. The goal was always I did want to actually, since this is tied with our business, I always did want to grow this, right? That was the excuse for it. But the goal was actually for this to be a sewing and embroidery channel, because that's what our business is about, and small business behind the scenes, that kind of thing. And instead, we were like, oh, well, before we worry about getting the crafting, the official format done, just practice streaming. And I practice streaming by doing the writing and the editing. And now our community likes this. I just had to control my more fancy word usage because, to be frank, Blue isn't that sophisticated yet. But his words so far, his personality is coming through the text really well. I wonder if it's good or bad to have English as a second language, because it opens the minds to other ways of thinking, but at the same time, I cannot show the prose in my native language. I don't think it's bad to learn a second language, let alone English as a second language. So if you're wondering if it's good to learn it, then yeah, I always think people who know multiple languages are fantastic. Now, is that the same as having a creative work and trying to translate it all the time into another language? I understand that can be really hard and frustrating. So it's even possible that you might feel more creatively free doing it in a native language, and then maybe after it's done and you get all the thoughts and the creativity out of your head, then offer a translated version if possible. But I understand maybe trying to do both, trying to just in your creativity translate it and make the first official version of your product in another language. That's a lot to ask for. That's a lot. That's hard. But hello, MSM. It's good to see you. Welcome on in. You lose Loci. Okay. Welcome on in, Loci. I'll try to remember that. Psych got sidetracked. Someone stayed to Dutch, but streams and found the community in his writing in English. Yeah, the rhythm is different, the wordplay, the semantic. Yeah, and your first language is French, if I remember right? 10. So I could definitely see, you might want to creatively do things and express yourself and get that rhythm and that tone and that creative idea in your head out in your native language first, And once it's there and it's best polished the way you envision it version, then worry about doing a translated version, right? And I also know you have a social media account that you share your comics and your artwork with. Might share the translated version on social media, but get that initial creative version of the draft, maybe in your native language. You're allowed to write a side story to this from Red's perspective that's more, is it Steinbeck-esque? With in-depth descriptions and stuff, but one story at a time. Ain't that the truth? So let's see, where were we? I don't know where he went off to after that. Gramps scratched his chin a bit, but he seemed to know whatever it was that Red was talking about. Huh, I see. Well then, Blue, I better go fetch Red. Admittedly, I was a little bit annoyed. I had to sit here, wait for who knows how long, doing absolutely nothing. And now Gramps has to wander off again just to find that dork. I was about to complain, but I knew it would be better to just wait a bit. It'll all be worth my while, I kept telling myself. After a quick goodbye, he was off again. Task 1 of 30 marked off his list, I bet. It'll all be worth my while. Maybe it'll all be worth it? Is that more in the character's voice? To say it'll all be worth it versus it'll all be worth my while? Imagine the same scene as Blue from his point of view. And doesn't take much attention to him. Imagine he lives the same scene as Blue from his point of view and doesn't take much attention to him. Yeah, that's a good catch. It'll all pay off? It'll all pay off might even be a better version of that creative one. You're right. That's a good version of it too. Gramps' lab has some interesting things, I guess. Just wish I knew what any of them did. His office is cool though, especially if you're a huge Poke nerd. He's got books on Pokemon, artwork of Pokemon, research papers on Pokemon, biographies on all Pokemon trainers, and plenty of copies of Pokemon Researchers Monthly. There's also his old gym badges from when he was a trainer, still neatly framed and hung on his wall. He talks a little bit about those times, but I think he's just more interested in studying Pokemon nowadays. Personally, I think that stinks. I like his old man stories, though. One of the little gadgets he's been working on was there, but I didn't make any real effort to check it out. If I ended up breaking it, there'd be hell to pay. I got a decent look at it, though, and it had a purpose that was almost kind of obvious. Maybe. If you ask me, it looked like some sort of PDA device. A Pokeball red shell, a physical keyboard, a small screen, all that stuff. It almost looked like there was a camera on it, too. Did I want it? Heck yeah. But for all I knew, it was some sort of big important thing that Gramps has been working on for who knows how long. If he wants me to have it, I'm sure he would have given it to me. Either that, or he'd give it to Daisy. Thinks she's more responsible than me. Maybe like the little quotation marks here, just as a suggestion. That's not an edit, that's just an idea. Or older than in the game, I knew that this was not going to be an edgy sort of retelling. There we go. Is your name the same on AO3? No, but I can drop you the name. Yeah. Right. Think she's more responsible than me. Believe me, I couldn't tell you where he gets that idea. Anyways, Gramps' lab has cool things and all, but frankly, I'm a bit short of attention. I was definitely going to make sure that Red knew how long he was holding me up. Eventually, Gramps gets back to his lab with that dork, which, was fine. I just wish he didn't take so long. Probably all Red's fault, if you'd ask me. Jeez, Gramps, what was keeping you? I hope it wasn't this dork. Me and a beta reader agreed that anything above hell was pushing it. Yeah, okay, so like hell, heck, maybe damn. I don't even know if damn's in this character's point of voice. I said point of voice instead of point of view. And you guys listen to me and I mess things up all the time. was in the kitchen. Okay. Point of voice. Yeah, it's a new official term. Point of voice. It's like point of view in the character's voice. It's point of voice. That's if you have a college degree like me, that's you, everyone knows that. I'm kidding. Oh my goodness. Gramps always harps on about being nicer to Red, saying how his family are friends with us and all that stuff. It makes it sound like I hate the guy or something. That ain't true at all. I think Red's alright, you know? He's just a dork. But that's all besides the point. Gramps did not like me calling him a dork. Now come on, Blue. Red didn't keep us any more held up than you would've, said Gramps. You see, we had a wild encounter on the way back. Right. I had to sit around a lot while Gramps and Red got to see a wild Pokemon? Without me? So, gaslighting, you said. We did have that joke earlier, didn't we? Oh my god. Well, I bet we could have gotten out of that quicker than... Blue, settle yourself, said Gramps. You need to learn some patience, you know? He's been telling me that for a long time, too. I'll think about it. Now then, I have something for the both of you. As Gramps was talking, I finally saw him set those Pokeballs on his desk. The last few he had from his days as his trainer. This is it. Oh, thank you so much for the follow, and hey, welcome to Cryptid Cult. Oh, your jiggly butts? That's so cute. Oh my god. But yeah, welcome on over to the group, and hey, I hope you have fun hanging out with us. This is it, exactly what I've been waiting for. I'm gonna get one of his Pokemon, and I'll travel all over Kanto and beat everyone that stands in my way and get to the Elite Four, and... Red, you can choose your Pokemon first, said Gramps. I see how it is. I get it, Gramps. You want to be nice to Red. You want to give him one of your Pokemon, too. So we can also go on and be a trainer like me. And that's fine. Doesn't even matter that he went first. In fact, it's better that he went first. He needed that advantage if he even wanted to dream of beating me. That's what I thought. And you know what? That advantage is probably what helped him out in the end of all this. In the end of all this. If I had chosen first, oh boy, maybe I still would be at the tippy top. Maybe I still would be at the tippy top. Guess we'll never know, right? I do know, buddy. So this is now sounding like the narrator is in the future and thinking back on this encounter. BRB? Yeah, all good. Of course, like the chump he is, he walks right up and chooses Gramps' old Charmander. Whatever, right? I didn't want that one anyways. I definitely wasn't thinking of all sorts of super cool nicknames for him, and I definitely wasn't thinking of all the training that we were going to get up to, so that we could be the best in the whole region. It was fine. I watched him take that Charmander's Pokeball. Him and his stupid smug smile. Something you gotta know ahead of time is that Red's a real smug guy. He can be kind of full of himself. Imagine that. That's what I had in mind. So I was playing because I'm not sure if you had this in mind, because remember earlier we were talking about the tenses and how this is talking about the perspective from today. Sorry for that. Let me see if I can find it. But most of this is in present tense. This is present narration looking back at the past. Oh, whoa, wait a second. I don't... Wait. Yeah, then it's just past narration. If it's not, you can't be present narration looking back on the past. That's not what it means. But earlier it said it's today. the narration was today. So it can't be that early ahead. Because you remember you mentioned earlier, like, oh, today, and then it says early that day. And now suddenly the narrator's in the future looking back on this day. So we're jumping some tenses again. That's what I was pointing out. Wait, where did I have, like, where was I? So he can be kind of full of himself. Imagine that. That's where we left off at. The narrator's just tripping balls and reliving half of what's narrated in real time. This is read maybe not at the point that he's doing a steal the Charizard, but warning, and then this is the proof. I'm not quite sure I get it. Maybe that was just maybe it's just because it's late. Maybe because it's past midnight. I could work with that, right? So I did. I knew that one of Gramps' other old Pokemon was this little Squirtle that he never bothered to train with. Just what I need. A clean slate. A battle-hungry guy who's ready to shake some action. I let him out of the Pokeball just to see what he's like. Get a sense for his personality, you know? Hello, Ten. Welcome on back. Little guy was looking around all curious at things. Absolutely everything was exciting to this dude. The professor was exciting, the filing cabinets were exciting. Red was exciting, and he even found me exciting. Guess I already knew I was an exciting person, but man, was that squirrel having fun waddling around, looking around at everything. To tell you all the truth, I liked him right away. This was my kind of guy, and the way he looked at me with those ridiculous wide eyes that were damn near as big as his brain. Man, I made a good choice, huh? Gramps, I'm taking this one. Did I sound more excited than I meant to? Hell yeah. Did I care? Not even a little. I had just got my first Pokemon. Who wouldn't be at least a little peppy? A little peppy. I'm not sure. I certainly was. I can tell you that much. My deaf ass heard violent cabinets were excited. Did I say that? I might have. Filing cabinets were exciting. I'll be completely honest. I might have just misspoke. To be completely honest with you, Triangle. I have no idea what I said. See, I meant to make it like blue may or may not have been projecting. With what part? With the Squirtle? Or was there a particular line I mentioned something at? And you're responding back to me. Yeah, calling Red arrogant or full. So yep, that absolutely came across clear. So you're good there. I really like that. That was good. I'm gonna be at least a little peppy. I'm wondering about that word choice. Maybe just happy? You want to be at least a little happy? That's just a suggestion though. It's not a hard edit. It's just an idea. But yeah, really, everything's flowing pretty good. With me and both thoroughly enjoying ourselves. This might be a grammar edit. With me and both thoroughly enjoying ourselves. Gramps decided it would be a good time to speak up again. Well then, I think that covers it for you two. Take good care of your Pokemon, and remember, it's all about trusting them. Peppy is kind of slang. Oh, maybe it's supposed to be we both. We both thoroughly enjoying with... Wait, no. With we both thoroughly enjoying ourselves. With us? With us both thoroughly enjoying ourselves. Yeah, okay, outdated sounds better. I was gonna be slang. Wait, what is it slang for? But no, it's outdated. That's a good point. So with us both thoroughly enjoying ourselves, Gramps decided it would be a good time to speak up again. Remember, it's all about trusting them. Typical Gramps. Always trying to work in some sort of valuable lesson for me or Red or both of us. I had more important things on the mind. Yeah, trust and such. Hey Red, you wouldn't believe how cool this guy is. You recognize your tired writing mistakes. Hey, you know, that's what this is for. That's what having beta readers and critique partners and doing all this for. It's just to catch those those mistakes. And hey, full disclaimer, I make a lot of mistakes in my writing, and it's not just because I'm tired. It's just because I'll own up to it. They're just mistakes. I'm just wrong sometimes. I never want you guys to think I'm like critiquing writing and your guys' writing because I'm like, oh, I'm so good at writing. I know all the best writing. I'm the best writer ever. No, it's just I'm just your little friendly buddy here on screen, and we're just trying to help each other out. Ain't nothing like a 6 a.m. writing session. Omega readers can even predict what mistake you'll make next. Alexa, turn off entry light. There we go. And thus began the next few minutes of both of us showing up our Pokemon, talking about how awesome they were and how neither of us were going to be great. And how either of us were going to be great trainers and all that jazz. Really, it was like we were little kids again in an instant. I may say all this and that about Red, but really me and him have both only ever wanted to do the same thing. We both wanted to be trainers. Now, finally, here we are, old enough to start making that magic happen. That's how it stayed for a little bit. Smiles, excitement, and just a bit of sizing each other up. To tell you the truth, I didn't hate it. Like a McCartney album on. Using the music while writing? Who doesn't? Normally, I don't. I only had the music here for the stream. I didn't like having the silence and just my voice, so it's just the writing here. It's just the music here. Normally I don't, and then I was writing on a Word document for you guys. I write on the Word documents like this with the black page and the white text. But that's actually really hard for me. It's very unnatural. I write a lot better with pen and paper. You write in silence. I write with a fuck ton of noise in my head. There's so much noise in my head. So yeah, I think I get overstimulated actually. It's like too much, it's distracting. I'm actually one of those people too, when I do exercise, I haven't exercised at in an actual gym yet, outside of like school and stuff. I normally exercise at home. I actually exercise without music too. I know people who say like, oh, if you go to the gym and you exercise without music, like you're a psychopath or you're trained to kill somebody. But genuinely, I'm like, no, I'm just here vibing. I'm just here vibing without music. It's fine. Usually I have just whatever I want on when I write. Sometimes it's a record, sometimes it's a Grateful Dead show, sometimes it's a good YouTube video I just like having on. Oh, I could never have background like shows or something on. No, that's way too much. So yeah, when you guys were seeing me write my rough drafts live on stream, I was 120% focused. Getting those words out. It was really hard getting those words out on a Word document while music's in the background. And that's why I think towards the end I was mostly just chatting. Because chatting with music is fine. But the writing, trying to do a task while there's noise and stuff in the background is like hell. No, you're nuts. You have a lot of background noise on. Yeah, I'm just impressed people can write while listening to music. I would lose my focus. That's me too. I really can't do it. I was focusing a lot to get what I was doing on stream done. Just naturally, I work better in quiet and just in my own thoughts. To protect the world from auto-creation to indecipherable words by demonstration. I think the music enhances my writing, but you know, that remains to be seen. Well, I think so far your writing's fantastic. I really like it. Really, I think the only comments I've had have been like, what? Like 1 or 2 word choices, that's not a lot. And then like just pointing out some tense stuff. But that's not at all unheard of for editing. This is great work, honestly. This is very minor things I'm pointing out for an editing. I don't usually write with lyrics in the background, but other kinds of music, yes. You put OST of Pokemon? OST? You don't method right yet. Depends on the day. You can have lyrical music playing if I'm already in a flow state with my work, but if I'm still aware of my surroundings, I need instrumental. You love this, Sir Chatty Matty, and you're crazy nerdy for Pokemon. Hey, this is right up your audience. See, I think at the end of this, you're gonna have some new people checking out your fanfic already. You're gonna have some new views. Finally, Red used the rest of his words up for the day. Well, Blue, I'll see you around. Well, Blue, I'll see you around then. Good luck, he said, turning around to walk off wherever. I had other plans, though. Now, hold on a minute. I was already smirking as he whipped back around to look at me. Did he really expect to get off the hook that easily? Who did he think I was? Think you're gonna run off without us testing out our Pokemon? Then you got another thing coming. I could see Gramps inspecting us as Red walked back up, his face already getting serious. I hate when he does that, to tell you the truth. Trying to look all tough when me and him are about to really face off against each other. Like it's some kind of big deal. Like he's got a chance or whatever. He looks ridiculous. Oh, official soundtrack, OST. Thank you, Chatty. But I was like, I'm like, huh, what is it? Did you mean Lost? Empty brain, no thought. Just loading screen. Anyways, I don't know if any of you have ever seen a real Pokemon battle. I don't know what your neck of the woods is like, but I know you've heard about them. Let me tell you right now, they almost always start the same way. My first battle was not an exception. So again, this is sounding like it's the future and we're talking back, so we're having that tense change. Once we were both all ready, I was the first to draw their Pokeball. Recalculating. His internet window is 500 tabs open. Recalculating. Recalculating. Please wait. Recalculating. There has been an error on your server. Please hold. Recalculating. My grammar check keeps saying anyways is wrong, but I know that. It's like a dialect, I think. Anyways. I don't know if any of you have ever seen... Yeah, that looks right to me. It might be marking because it might be a weird way to start a sentence, but no, for the dialect, that's right. For the I get what you mean, yeah. Just ignore your spell check. Spell check is just a suggestion. It doesn't always know what it's doing. Yeah. You see, it goes from he looks ridiculous in the present tense. And I could see Gramps inspecting us as Red walked back up. That's present tense. But then it goes into past. My first battle was not an exception. Once we were both all ready, I was the first to draw their Pokeball. So it's switching the tenses again. Siri, I'm dating Alexa. Alexa is inferior. Again, whenever I'm talking about it, we call her Destiny in this house. That way we don't activate her. Yeah, proper grammar is a guideline to learn by, but if you write 100% by the rules all the time, your writing is going to sound soulless, because people just don't talk like that. And since this narrator is like telling the story, it should sound more like their voice. Normally, if it's like the prose from a non-character narrator, the prose would normally sound better, and then the dialogue from the characters will have those errors. So we need to make mistakes? I wouldn't say we need to. It's... how to phrase this. Certain characters have a way of speaking that's authentic to them, and it's important to write in their voice. Now, normally if you have a normal narrator, right, who's not a character, a non-character narrator, the narrator will then normally be grammatically correct with the style of the author, and then the dialogue that the characters speak will be in their tone. since this is from the character here is the narrator. It is Blue talking to us, the readers. So even the prose is in his point of view. It's in his dialect. It's in his words. And when we speak, we don't talk 100% grammatically correct. We speak more casually rather than technically correct. I changed it to I still hate when he does that, like it's a side comment during narration. Thanks, you want to train the voice of my characters in my writing. Howdy, hello, welcome on in. Right now we are reading a fanfic that one of my raccoons here in chat has submitted, and as we go through I try to point out just one or two little minor critiques or ideas. But yeah, if that's your kind of vibe, then welcome on in. Easiest comparison I say is when you're writing someone posh and proper, you're going to write different than writing in a Southern Baptist voice. Absolutely. So you gotta sometimes prioritize the voice over the rules. My dialogue is meant to be realistic than the prose. More realistic than the prose. You have some work to share sometimes. That's fantastic. There is a Discord link, and within the Discord, you just read the rules real quick, and then there's a story submission section. And for the story submissions, all it is that we're asking so far is no AI generated stories and no spicy, sexy smut scenes, because I get too embarrassed reading those live on stream. But yeah, as long as that's all good, then hey, you're always free to submit it. And then before I read it on stream, I always check to make sure the person is in stream. That way we can have that back and forth in that conversation when I'm giving the suggestions and critique. You like stylized or heightened dialogue? Is it an issue for voices? I'm not sure. Stylized dialogue, heightened dialogue. That sounds like it's a good thing if I'm understanding what you're describing, right? Like having really intense, like people having intense emotions, having them have a specific flair in the way they speak. That sounds like it would be a good thing for dialogue, if I'm understanding what you're talking about correctly. My dialogue tries to be words together that make sense. Oh, don't we all? Don't we all? Y'all upper folk is nuts. Correction is, you upper class people are crazy. Like Tarantino's character doesn't sound normal, but it's entertaining. Has some romantic tension, but nothing specifically happens. That's fine. Reject big grammar. Like it's a big corporation holding you down. Oh my god. Squirtle, I choose you. Go! It really is that easy to get into the swing of it. Now let me let you in on a little secret. The first few Pokemon battles you'll have, it ain't gonna be all that exciting. I know you all were waiting in anticipation. Oh, what was Blue's first Pokemon fight like? What was Red's fight against him like? I bet it was crazy from the start. Well, no it wasn't. It was two teens using tackle against each other's low-level Pokemon that we had known no more than 5 minutes before we started having them go at each other. It's a little bit run on. In other words, juvenile. We were dumb kids, you know? Juvenile. Unlike everything else I'm going to tell you about, my first fight just don't make for a very good story. Especially when you know how it ends, because man, it's embarrassing. Grammar was a lie. You have dishonored me. This is a Wendy's drive-thru. It's the system, man. Oh my goodness. I wonder, because you were talking about his Blue's specific vocabulary and the tone that you're going for. I wonder if juvenile is in his normal words he would use. I imagine you with a blunt. Don't we have that as an emoji? Did I have it here in Twitch chat? The raccoon with the blunt. Or the cigarette or something? Hold on. Do I not have it here? I don't think I have it. I have it in the oh wait, no, yeah, it's the raccoon cool one. There we go. Oh wait, I messed up my tabs. There we go. Hold on. There we go. Juvenile is pushing it, I think. Okay, okay. I just thought it was the best sounding word there, I think. You should return to monkey and say small. In other words, dumb. There we go. Not talking about you. I'm trying to think of other words here. So in other words, maybe stupid. So we started having them go at each other. In other words, stupid. We were dumb kids, you know? So I would even say maybe stupid, maybe dumb, because you use that word later. So something like that. Maybe pathetic. Maybe pathetic. Dumb is better. Thank you, Blue Demon. I'm a cryptid. No, don't listen to Author Relic. I'm not a demon. I'm not an Oni. I'm a cryptid. I'm literally cryptid, your favorite local cryptid. Come on. Oh no. I have found Destiny. Everyone else, you mean your ADHD led you on a side quest to Destiny? I feel so badly. Honestly, I feel like a lot of my success in life has just been like crazy things that I actually committed to, and then they worked out. Isn't that crazy? If anyone else here has ADHD, and we do a lot of random bullshit and a lot of random crafts and a lot of random side projects and a lot of random shit on the side that we never finish, did you know if we actually commit to some of them and work hard at some of them, then they actually work out? It's this crazy concept. You have ADHD. So much fun. Yeah, that's Roots. Roots has the both. I'm diagnosed dyslexic, and I probably have ADHD, but I'm not diagnosed with it. And then I'm probably the only one in the cryptid family that has OCD, because I'm the only one that freaks out about some of like the cleanliness or the order, and it like bothers me. Compared to everyone else in the family who is autistic and ADHD, so I think I'm the lone slight mild OCD out of the bunch. I'm autistic or ADHD or both. You're misdiagnosed with something. Not true of TX friend? Texas friend? Hold on. Sorry for the cough. Diagnosed ADHD and bipolar. Oh, that's not a fun combo. I'm so sorry. And then very, very likely autistic, but I ain't got the money for that test. Exactly. Like, so Roots was diagnosed with the ADHD and the autism. And then I believe Mama Cryptid's been diagnosed with the autism. And then Papa Cryptid is not officially diagnosed, but you look at him and you're like, yeah. It's in the family. It's on both sides of the family. Because his father, which is Grandpa Cryptid, engineer who is and lawyer now, who's 100% on the spectrum, and we're like, oh yeah, it's just in the family on both sides. Okay. And then Papa Cryptid is dyslexic, and I am dyslexic. We only have mentally healthy chips here. Oh no. You're neurospice, but not what they put you as. Oh no, they labeled you the wrong flavor. Oh no. You won the lottery? Yeah, I'm so sorry. There were better lotteries to win, I'm so sorry. But yeah, I probably have some more than I'm probably slightly on the spectrum and have the ADHD like Roots and Mama Cryptid and Papa Cryptid have. But again, I'm old now and I'm not on the health insurance and I don't got the money for those tests. But we all kind of look at each other and we're like, yeah, I did not escape the genetic lottery here. Mentally healthy, quaint. But yeah, I think the one I have had diagnosed since I was a baby cryptid was the dyslexia. That's why I always say I'm not the best what's the word? Copy editor. I'm pretty decent at it now. It doesn't impact my day-to-day life much anymore. I'm very lucky with the education I got and the help and assistance I got. But I'll never be like the best grammar person ever. But I'm pretty good with storytelling craft and developmental edit level stuff. Um, the world nerfed you because if it had it, you'd be too powerful. Exactly. I feel that way about my height. If the world had let me be tall, if the world let me be what I want to be, which is like just under 6 feet, if the world let me be that, it knew I'd have too much of an ego. It knew. So it had to keep me just under 5 feet to keep me humble. That was corrected, so not even a legally done appointment. The world is bitch, yep. Oh, you don't want to get worked up? Okay, now we can move on. I'm sorry, Chatty Matty. Yeah, we don't want to get you worked up either. Oh my god, that must have been annoying though, I bet. Anyway, let's see. Especially when you know how it ends, because man, it's embarrassing. I lost. Yeah, that's right. I freaking lost to that dork. If you ask me, he doesn't even count. He only won because I lost. That's not a real winner, but whatever. This is great. You got some really fucking fantastic one-liners here throughout this piece. This is great. Oh my god. That's what they have ultra platform boots for. I for a long time when I was still doing customer service jobs before the Rona hit, I wore platform heels all the time. I wore heels every single day of my life for years and years and years. I didn't own flat pairs of shoes at all for years and years and years and years, just because of the height they gave me. And then people, one of the things would be like, oh wait, what do you mean you're short? No, you're like up to here. And I'm like, no, wait. And I would like step out of my platform heels and stand next to them, and they'd be like, oh, you shrunk, oh my god, you're tiny. And I'm like, yeah, I'm just under 5 feet. Now after the Rona, I started walking around inside more, right? Because it was COVID. We weren't going anywhere for a while. And wearing only heels for so long, for so many years of my life, actually messed up the back tendons of my feet. I had to train for a while to actually be able to walk normally without being in pain, because my legs got so used to being in heels. So now I'm trying to be better. I'm trying to wear more flat, comfy shoes for better health. But annoying is certainly one word. I'm tiny and closer to hell. Watch me bite ankles when I get angry. I always threaten to steal people's kneecaps. I'm like, if you're too tall, you gotta fix that. I just gotta remove your kneecaps. That'll fix the problem. I lost. He didn't win. Lose a whole damn salt mine. You'll see that some of the run-ons are deliberate and part of the voice. Yeah, and I normally don't critique those. Normally, if I'm pointing out some of the run-ons, it's because I'm like, it's just like 1 or 2 words. They're like slightly too long. Blue is true to a teenager, absolutely. Something from Bleach. It didn't break. I broke it. I used to wear cowboy boots all the time. Oh my god, it still feels weird to walk in shoes. It was nerfed me by making me tall and smart and a big chest. Ugh. Oh my god. You're like a vertically challenged grunge ghost. Yeah, literally, no, I'm let's see. What were your qualifications here? Making me tall and smart and of big chest. I'm at least semi-smart. I'm not the smartest, but I'm semi-smart. I am always upfront about the things I'm stupid at, because I don't think it's bad to be unknowledgeable about stuff, as long as like you're willing to listen to people who are knowledgeable about that stuff, right? It's important to be self-aware about the shit you don't know shit about, and the shit that you're like, no, actually, I am highly educated in this. I do know a lot about this particular topic. I think people who do like the general blanket statements of like, oh no, I'm smart at everything, or I'm dumb at everything. I'm like, no, you aren't. So I'm at least semi-smart and of big chest. Dear God, I have back problems because I'm big of chest. But no, I am not tall. I am just under 5 feet. It's a huge loss. Oh no. Oh yeah, but that's not a real winner, but whatever. To tell you the truth, I feel pretty bad about it. Not just because I lost to a complete dork like Rhett, but because my Squirtle had gotten beat. I remember seeing him fainted on the ground as I threw him back into his old Pokeball, which may have been even older than me. Even then, I knew that he didn't lose. Only I did. Oh, right in the feels. You can't learn if you think you know everything. Absolutely true. 100%. I remember looking back at Red and thinking that this would be the last time that he got the better of me. Sorta true. Unfrickin' believable. Can't believe I lost to you. Whatever, I'm gonna train Squirtle until he's way stronger than your Pokemon. I could feel Gramps' eyes on both of us. He was smiling, but I could tell he was inspecting us, judging. That was the worst feeling of all. I didn't want Gramps to think I would be a bad trainer. Now I knew I had to be even better than the best. If that's even a thing, I had to be just that. I looked back at Red after a minute, bit my cheek, shook his outstretched hand, muttered out some sportsman-like nothing burger, and then hurried on out of there. The nearest Pokemon Center was in Viridian City, but I could probably stop at home to let my buddy rest for a little. Besides, I had to say goodbye to my folks. I read after a minute, bit my cheek. I think this particular run-on sentence, this long sentence, might be better as 2. I don't think I do. I know I do. Finger guns, JK. Red. Let's defeat Team Rocket's boss first. Is this Team Rocket's boss? What do you mean? Again, I've never played the games. I didn't have money as a kid. I didn't play the games. I only watched the TV show. I don't think these two were in it. I only watched like the classic Pokemon. I'm not even used to all the newfangled Pokemon and the mega evolutions and stuff. You guys gotta help me out. The Viridian City gym leader is Giovanni. Oh, Team Rocket's boss. Yeah, okay, I know Giovanni's Team Rocket's boss. Okay. But the Viridian City gym leader. Is that where he's going? Yeah, the nearest Pokemon Center is in Viridian City. Oh, so yeah, that's where he's going. Nice. So yeah, maybe for this one, I looked back at Red after a minute, bit my cheek, and shook his outstretched hand. Like, period. I muttered out some sportsman-like nothing burger and then hurried on out of there. Alright, so it's like literally just like right there. The nearest Pokemon Center was in Viridian City, but I could probably stop at home to let my buddy rest for a little. Besides, I had to say goodbye to my folks. And then yeah, everything else feels pretty good. So for now, how far are we? We're starting page 8, so this is page 7 here. That's pretty... Sorry, stretching real quick. That's pretty good for the first few pages. So I think really... I pointed out, and they're not huge critiques, they're just like little things to point out. There was the tense. Oh, thank you for the hydrated hydrate. Thank you, Chatty Matty. Here's your sippy. Oh, that's actually a couple. Oh, the ice is melted. It's watered down. Oh, I hate watered down soda. Updating as we speak. I almost misread that as updating as we squeak, and I'm like, oh, that's cute. Are we squeaking? And I'm like, oh, wait, no, you wrote that normally. It's just me. Fun fact, Giovanni's also a dad. Oh, a bad dad, but a dad. Oh, that's sad. Oh, no. You think you have a drink? Thank you. So it was the tense. It was like 1 or 2 like words, right? Just like 1 or 2 word suggestions. Those aren't edits. Those are just little suggestions, right? You imagine us as little raccoons, that's why. What do you mean I imagine? You guys are little raccoons. That's just reality, right? Give me a drink, bartender. Oh my god. And you guys are just like little raccoons at a bar, and like all the other patrons at the bar are also raccoons. There's like a little drunk raccoon at the bar, wailing about his marriage problems. Come on, do you guys see the vision? There's just like a little raccoon out there. He's like polishing a glass, but it's still dirty because it came from a dumpster. He just pours you a drink, and it's just rainwater. Come on! My world's so much more fun. This kid is Silver, the Gen 2 rival. Also, according to the Pokemon Live musical, Ash's mom dated him briefly. Oh, but we do not talk about or acknowledge this musical for many reasons, but the Giovanni song is kind of fire. Now I know where the gaslighting comment comes from. I also don't have the manga with silver. Pokey on silver. Rival? Images? This kid? This kid? This kid? There are things in my story that are not technically canon and wouldn't really work in games, but you know, this is my own take on the story, I guess. Yeah, it's a fanfic. What? What? Don't let anyone give you shit about what's canon or not in a fanfic. You're holding this fandom together. Fanfic writers are important. We spit on canon. Pfft. We don't need that. Go punch anyone who tells you otherwise. Okay, I admit I'm a raccoon. I love trash bin. See, I knew it. You guys were gaslighting me, saying you guys weren't raccoons. Yep, him. Your fanfic is really cool. It is. It's really well written. I really like it. So him. It's your fanfic, and this is your canon. That's right. That's what we're looking for here. That's the personality we're looking for here. This loser, though, is related to Giovanni. This kid. Ugh. Pokemon honestly has some really fucking cool designs for characters, and then there's some characters designed like this, and I'm like, what did you do? What intern did you let design this kid? What? What? No. Oh man, I'm behind now, hold on. During Chapter 2, Blue stays at an inn, which is not in the games, and perfectly in character lies about his age to get a room. Oh no. Oh, so in your world then, is it not normal for then the 16-year-olds to be off wandering and being Pokemon trainers already? That's one of the things too. If you guys are in the US, I'm trying to remember here. You can sign up for the military because you're legally an adult at 18, right? So you can go off, you can go join the army. To do that, sometimes you can sign up whenever, but then you have to travel to the base that they're telling you. They'll be like, oh yeah, show up here on such and such date, and then you're like in the army, you're in the military. And then they'll be like, okay, and then they and they go over there, right? So to do that, you might need travel accommodations, right? You might need to stay at a hotel. So you go there, you're like you're over in this fucking place, but they tell you to go over here. So you're like, okay, I'm gonna go all the way over here. And you're like, okay, you show up for like the thing tomorrow, right? So you like traveled all night, you now need a place to stay, and then you wake up tomorrow, bam, you'll be in the military, right? They don't let you get a hotel room unless you're 21 in most places. They don't let you. They don't rent it out to 18-year-olds all the time. And then these poor people who are just traveling, I'm gonna join the military, I'm an adult, they're like, what do you mean? Where am I gonna sleep? I have money, I have my ID, I'm an adult now. And the hotel's just like, nope, can't do that. And then they'll be like, and so then they'll just be homeless for a day or two until they can go join the military. It's like a big issue. I know I'm laughing about it, but it's a big issue. And the whole stream layout theme is raccoons, so I feel that. Nice. Can you do it again? Such a kid, it makes me laugh that you move your avatar like a puppet show. Hey, I'm a kid at heart, I guess, so it's almost like a puppet show for me. Maybe that makes me extra childish. The implication is that Blue is a little younger than a trainer would normally start in this world, which would be 18. Okay. Professional trainers. I think they reject 18-year-olds because they run away from home a lot. Yeah, okay, so here in the US, it's not running away from home because you're an adult. You're legally recognized as an adult here at 18. I love the whole at 16 you can do some adult things, at 18 others, at 21 even more. So my story that involves making contracts with demons. The world age of adult is just straight 16. If you're old enough to sell your soul, you're old enough to drink. That's true. That's a good point. That's a good comparison to make. I think in Pokemon parents are sick of kids. That's why they kick them all out. Isn't there, like, in the Pokemon TV series, isn't there, like, a lot of backstory? Isn't there, like a really big war that just happened, and that's why, like, we don't see a lot of adults, because, like, a lot of the adults died in the war, and that's why so many of the kids are kind of, like, independent and out and about, because even the adults that didn't die, they're kind of used to be like, yeah, but there's plenty of families, there's plenty of other kids that are growing up without parents. So, like, you guys are fine. Like, it like, skewed the perspective. Am I completely making it bullshit? I feel like I heard that, right? Like, in the Pokemon, the original series, right? Because I'm old. Like a war had just happened. And that's why, like, a lot of the adults aren't there anymore. I feel like I'm right. I think it's because the target audience is limited to your character. Yeah, the main character was a kid. Because the target audience was a kid. But I'm saying in the show, a lot of the characters, like the NPCs, the characters you meet per episode, like in the world canon, a war had just finished. And so a lot of the adults are dead from the war. Making towns or cities bigger than they are in game, that makes sense. Your city has 30 people in it in the games. Obviously more than 30 people for it to be a city. That makes great sense. That's perfect. I mean, in X and Y, it's very thinly veiled that your mom boots you out so she can shack up with Professor Dad. Pokemon, a kid's game about war orphans capturing invasive species and pitting them against each other. In her defense, Professor Sycamore is a snack. Oh, I'm not talking about the Pokemon games. I have no idea anything that happens in the games. no fucking knowledge here in the games. I didn't have money for the games. I'm just saying for the old cartoon show. I mean, in Pokemon Red and Blue, Team Rocket is a legitimate criminal syndicate that traffics Pokemon through, like, a money laundering scheme. Yeah. And it's also a Japanese show, and sometimes the Japanese shows have more stuff like that a normal American company wouldn't think to put into a kid's show. And they even had to do, like, a few weird censorships for, like, when Americans were watching it, right? Like, at some point, like, Team Rocket has, like, a gun, right, in the show, and they had to, like, to censor it. Am I completely making this up? Somebody tell me. I feel like that's true. I feel like that was a thing, right? Team Rocket will be in your story. That's exciting. Yeah, Pokemon trafficking, you're right. Jelly donuts, just jelly donuts? What about jelly donuts? What? Hold on. Let me type. Pokemon TV show set after a Pokemon War? Question mark. Oh, 3,000 each price. That's not what I'm talking about. Am I completely making stuff up? And I'll admit that. I'll admit if I'm wrong about stuff. I might be wrong. Pokemon World War II next year. The war was a thing from the English dub of the game, specifically because of them making the surge American military based on one of the translators threw in a line about how electric Pokemon saved him in the war. Jelly Donuts Pokemon. What? The line itself wasn't actually there. It was something they did to replace whatever line there actually was, because it was the early 90s, and translate was a very strong word for what they did. And the manga decided to lean into it. However, I never watched the game, so if you guys are making game references, I don't know. I'm talking about the original TV series. Mystery in the building. Original TV show. Pokemon Indigo League? Yeah, this original one, a lot of the characters you meet besides Nurse Joy and Officer Jenny, a lot of them are like kids of adults who aren't there anymore, like they lost their parents, or it's like an adult, but they like lost their partner, so like they're widowed. Like a lot of the adults just aren't there, and I thought somebody mentioned, I remember like this Tumblr post, someone mentioned like, oh yeah, the reason why is because it's after a war. In the canon of that show, there was a war that happened a few years ago. That's, and like Ash's dad isn't there because maybe he had been in the war. So I don't know, maybe I'm making bullshit up, and I'll just fully admit that. That was a fan theory. Okay, maybe that was it. Maybe I'm mixing up that fan theory with the canon. So I can admit that. Yeah, I might just be wrong about it. Will it be the last reading of the right? Will it be the last reading of the night? Main character in the show I love now. Lyco grew on me. You're divorced from the Pokemon fan? Oh god, that's serious. Did the Pokemon fandom take the house in the divorce? Did they take the kids? Do you get any visitation at all? Triangle, please, let us know. How are you dealing post-divorce? The war was mentioned in the game, so fans latched onto it and came up with the fan theory that that's why in the game and the anime everyone is like 10. Oh, okay. Like who's the next Pokemon show protagonist? Dear god, we're having even new protagonists? We don't even have Ash anymore? Dear god, I am old. Anyway, what was I saying for the critique? I got distracted. So yeah, there was just some minor words and like tense issues I pointed out, but those aren't the main critiques. I would say for the one or two critiques, I would say even though it's incredibly well written and the voice carries it a lot, the voice does a lot of heavy lifting in this, it is a little bit of a slow start, but I know you're also probably replicating the game. In the game, this is the series of events that happens. I just feel like it maybe went a little bit long. Like maybe it was stretched out a little bit too much, and maybe that the pace could have been slightly, I'm not talking about a lot, just slightly a little tighter to help with that. But that's a minor thing. It's also the fanfic and it's based on that scenes in the game, right? So that there's only so much you can do maybe. So maybe that's not a valid critique. Maybe that's just a slight critique. Maybe that's just a suggestion. But it just feels like we're mostly in the character's head rather than the character physically doing stuff until the Pokemon battle, and even then we don't really see the Pokemon battle. It's just a lot of the narrator telling us stuff, so we're not actually really seeing the character do too much. And I think the voice is compelling enough that it does carry it. It's not a huge issue. But in a different work, maybe when you do future works, and maybe the character voice isn't as strong as Blue's here, that might be something to keep in mind. Of, hey, if the voice isn't this strong, you gotta make the character do a few more things. Maybe this is just an advice or a hint for future work, rather than anything to change here. I think here it actually works out pretty okay. In other words, rambling overdose. Don't point it out. I just never engaged with it until it fell into this everyone's a buzz about it, so I won't touch it out as principal pitfall. I just grew up with it. I was just a little kid, and Mama Cryptid was raising me on her own at that time. And she was struggling on her own, and she got us the beds, and she got us dining room table. And we didn't even have a TV stand or anything. We just had the television, and it was on the floor. And she had gotten the Pokemon movies, right? The Pokemon movies. Just like one or two. And then every day after school, me and her would like huddle up on the floor. I'm not sure if in the beginning we had a couch. Later on we got couches, so we got furniture later. But in the beginning it was just us, and we just watched some of the Pokemon movies. That was what we had. And then later on, after meeting Papa Cryptid and like in bed and stuff, I think even when we switched rooms, then I had like my own little mini TV in the room, right? It was like one of those big box TVs too. This was a while ago. I was an itty bitty Cryptid back then. And I would wake up every morning before school, and Mama Cryptid would make me some breakfast, which was like chocolate milk. And God, what did I even have? Maybe I had a bagel or something. I don't remember, but I had like chocolate milk, and I had like my breakfast, and I could watch one episode of Pokemon and still, because that was like air, you didn't like have like streaming service, right? You were just watching things on air. That was when it aired, so I could watch the one episode of Pokemon. That's when the time worked out, and I'll get ready for school. And then as soon as it was over, okay, I had to finish getting ready. Then we were off to school. We were off to drop me off to school. So I think I just grew up with it, you know. Um, you think you fixed all the tense things in chapter 1? I really dig Blue's presence throughout the chapters. Yeah, the presence, the character voice was incredible. Me was such a troll. You two out here aura farming and going all out. Meanwhile, Mew's just a silly little guy goofing on him for the love of the game. That was exactly it. And Mew, even though he was so tiny and so cute and so like just this little silly goofy guy, that was like his dad, right? And this big aura farming badass Mew too was like a little baby one. Oh my god. You returned? Welcome on back. Welcome back. Oh, you're throwing balls at me? Cute. Yeah. I remember those movies. It was great. So I would say, not for this work, but maybe in other works, when the voices of the characters might not be as strong, make sure that the physical actions they're doing are keeping up the pace a bit. But in this one, I think it's fine. I wouldn't worry about it. Man, you must have been cooking. That's the first critique, and yeah, I think the second one was just the tenses, and you already said you fixed that, so you're pretty good here. I think this is pretty solid. I'm excited to see it. I think you have a lot of people in here who are already excited to maybe check out your fanfic account on. I think you said you're on AO3, right? Hopefully it's on AO3. That's the main one I use. So I think you'll have some interested, happy new little readers on your AO3 account, and yeah, I think it's great. And I will end the critique there for this one, and then if you'd like us to continue reading it in the future, just feel free to resubmit. But thank you so much for sharing. I think you should be really proud of that piece. That was Sympathy for the Devil. Yes, okay. So I will delete that for now. And I think for now, because I am tired and I still have a lot of work to do, I have a clone army, Mew. Oh, we're ripping off Star Wars? Cool. Stand up for Weebly Oh my goodness, you guys are silly. But I think for tonight, that's gonna be the end of stream. So thank you guys all for coming by and hanging out with me. Oh, thank you for the follow. And I hope you enjoy hanging out with the Cryptid Cult in the future. It was good to drop in. Thank you so much for stopping and hanging out with us, and hopefully we'll see some of your work in the future too. But otherwise, I hope you guys have a wonderful night. I hope you guys are comfy and cozy, and I'll see you guys next time. Goodbye!